What's going on, guys? Ryan here with the first YouTube commentary I've ever done, so it might go well or it might just be really ass. We'll see how this goes. What I'm gonna be doing is I'm just gonna be playing and then telling some random story. What have I done? What have I done as a kid that was really dumb and stupid? The stupidest thing I can remember me doing. Yes, so the time that I almost died. Of course. So the time that I almost drowned. Alright, so it was probably in elementary school. I went to a friend's pool. Before that, I don't think like I don't want to say I've ever swam, but I wasn't too experienced in swimming. But he took me to his pool anyways. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'll just go with the flow. You know, what's the worst that could happen? And this was like my best friend at the time. His name was just Chris. We're gonna stick with Chris. So his name was Chris. So Chris, he invites me over to his house. So we go to his house first and we're getting ready to go to the pool, right? This pool wasn't too far away, probably like 5 minutes away. It was a pretty big pool and a pretty busy pool. And I was no member to any pool before then. So I was just going with the flow here. I had no idea what was going on. So we get to his pool, which was, you know, everything was going well. You know, I was like, oh, just put on sunscreen, you know, nothing to this. And then it's time. Go for a swim. You know, that's what his mom said. So I was like, all right, awesome. You know, I'm going to enjoy myself and go for a swim. So we start swimming around 3 feet, 4 feet. I don't know where my best friend goes. My best friend, Chris. You know, Chris just, after we start swimming for like 20 minutes, I think, all of a sudden he vanishes. Like he was never there. And I was like, all right, so I don't know where he went, but I'm gonna just do my own thing, you know, try and swim and enjoy myself. And I'm like, you know what? I'm tired. Oh, this was my second mistake. I was like, oh, I'm kind of tired of my feet touching the ground. I think I can swim. But, you know, I was watching, you know, the Olympics, you know, these professional ass swimmers just, you know, hawking it in the water. And I was like, all right, you know, I think I can at least do something similar. My dad used to swim, so he had swimming on the TV. I was just getting a lot of experience watching swimming. Then I'm like, oh, I am gonna just swim. I know how to swim. Like, how hard can it be? I was playing soccer at the time, soccer and basketball probably. I would say I was pretty athletic, so I was like, I think I can swim. So then my dumb ass is like, all right, I'm gonna go to the deep end because my feet don't touch the ground and I'm just gonna swim. So this should have been my first indication. Making my way over to the deep end, I was clinging onto the wall, while shuffling against the wall, just trying my hardest to like stay afloat. But to me, it set off no alarms in my head that I shouldn't be doing this. So I start going and just, you know, inching my way to the deep end. Oh, by the way, I had swim shoes so I wouldn't get like pool toe, you know, the bottom of my toes won't like rip or whatever. So I am inching my way to the deep end with these pool shoes. I also didn't mention that I have a swim shirt. Anyways, I am inching my way over to the deep end. It was just looking all wrong from the start. I don't even know what made me want to continue on this journey to the deep end, but I did it anyways. Both of my hands, right? My feet were underneath the water, but they were like clinging onto the wall as well. But my hands slipped. They slipped off of the edge of the pool. And guess what happened? Guess what happened? Science took over and I sank. I just sank. And I was so scared. I was just throwing my arms around, kicking my legs everywhere, just trying to stay afloat at any means possible, right? Just to stay above water so I can breathe some oxygen. And what ended up happening was I was just frailing. Pool shoes just came off. They just slipped off of my feet and started floating. I was just like gasping for air. I mean, there was a good amount of people in the pool. I don't know what they thought I was doing, if I was just messing around, but they did not give a shit about me. I was right next to them, drowning. almost losing my life. And guess what they did? Just enjoyed themselves and just freaking kept going. I was drowning while everyone else was having fun, right? My shoes were gone at this point. My hands were all over the place. Finally, I was able to grab back onto the wall and save myself, because apparently the lifeguards are blind and the parents are blind. I was my own lifeguard. I saved myself from a near-death experience. My life was flashing before my eyes. I was thinking about my mom. I was like, what is my mom gonna think? You know, I drowned swimming with my friend. What are my sisters gonna do, you know? And I was just panicking. I was like, I have to survive. Please, someone help me. But guess what? I swear to God, there was a guy standing right next to me. I saw his feet when I was drowning underwater, and he just stood there. Stood there. When I grabbed back onto the wall, I gave him the meanest stare. I guess he just thought I was throwing the water and throwing my arms and just losing my shoes on purpose because I was having fun. So anyways, I grabbed onto the wall, and at this point, I probably swallowed so many gallons of pool water. Man, I was probably the most hydrated kid in that pool. As soon as I grabbed back onto the wall, I inched myself back to the shallow end. Back where my feet could touch, right? I walked up the stairs, like out of the pool, and I was walking a couple inches trying to get back to like my chaperone, and right in front of where the lifeguards are stationed, like their office, their headquarters, I just threw up. I probably threw up like some McDonald's lunch that was provided to me by my friend's family. Oh, meanwhile, yeah, speaking of my friend, I have no idea where this kid is. The pool is only so big. Where can you go? Anyways, I just throw up. I just throw up all of my lunch in front of the lifeguard. Wait, I have superpowers, I think, because I was just invisible that day. Their door was wide open, right? I threw up in front of the door and none of them saw it. None of them. All of them just missed it. There were no... Did you guys just see that? Please tell me you guys just saw what I just missed. And I didn't want, since they didn't see it, I didn't want anyone to know. So I didn't want Chris's mom to know that I nearly drowned and I just threw up. I casually just walked away. You know, I just walked away from my throw up, walked back to her, and I didn't say anything. All of a sudden, out of thin air, my boy Chris shows up. My boy Chris just walks up out of nowhere. I have no idea where he came from. You know what he said to his mom? Mom, Ryan just threw up on the pool deck. I was so mad. I was so mad. I was like, in my mind, I was thinking, how does this kid just appear out of thin air and just tell his mom that I threw up all over the pool deck? I didn't know. The one thing I didn't want him to see, he saw. All right.
He threw up.
Yo,
Threw up, bro?
I threw up an entire McDonald's meal, dog.
Disgusting.
Bro. So yeah, of course the mom had to take care of me. So she asked me if I was okay, and I was so embarrassed and I was so mad. I wanted to slap this kid across I wanted to slap him so hard that he disappeared again. I was so angry that the one thing I didn't want him there for, the one thing I didn't want him to see, he was just probably hiding behind some trash can, or his two eyes were just perched above the water. Just his two eyes just glaring at me. Why? I was okay. I was alive. I just threw up because I swallowed too much water. I didn't want anyone to know. And this kid comes out and tells his mom, yeah, Brian threw up all over the pool deck. Like all innocent. Like he didn't just disappear for an hour and just leave me, right? And the whole drive home, I was just silent. You know, I didn't want to talk about it. But guess what happens next? My mom shows up to pick me up. And what is the first thing Chris's mom says to her? Ryan had a little accident at the pool today. Yo, I was sitting in the back so upset that this information was leaked to my mom. I went home, I was okay, I was alive, which was the most important part. But I mean, for the most part, I had a pretty fun day. I mean, this was just one of the many stories. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll probably be sharing more stories in the future. Hopefully not like death experiences. I'm pretty sure that was my only one. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to drop a like. Subscribe to my channel. See you guys in the next video.